I have just brought my first MTB bike from Halfords. And the bloke behind the counter said,
"Do you want it building?"
And I said, no. I like a challenge. You guys are going to watch me attempt to set up and build my very first MTB. Now, I'm no bike mechanic, but if you fancy a challenge and have some of the most basic tools, I'm pretty certain you can build up your own flat pack bike. Let's start by putting some matting down and get this bike out of the box. A small box. Come on. I just broke something. Right, let's lay this down here. Well, there it is, flat pack. Let's get this thing built up then. You know what I need? I need a bike stand. And if by magic, I have one. So to get that on there, we're gonna need to take a few bits off of it first. Let's start with the old cable ties. Well, hey, there we go. We have a wheel off. Let's get the remnants away. Right, now we can put it on there. How on earth do you put this on here? Ah, there we go. Perfect. As you can see, I'm a total noob at doing this. Ooh. Okay, we need to tighten something up. Tighten this up behind here. Okay, so I finally sussed out how to work that thing. Let's take some more bits off. There is plenty of protective packaging on this bike, which is a good thing, as all of the components on this bike are scratch free. Good job, Halfords and Carrera. Good packaging skills. Right then, so that's most of the packaging off. Just got the handlebars to cut off on this cable tie, and then we should be all good to put the handlebars onto the stem. Let's cut the cable tie on here, and it's all gonna just come flying down. Looks like we need to spin the stem around because it's not in line. I shouldn't ride it backwards. Whilst I'm turning the stem around so it's facing the correct way, now is a good time to subscribe to my channel, but make sure you're signed into a Google account, otherwise you may struggle. Now then, let's fit these handlebars. Let's take off the stem bolts, put them safe down here a second. Don't want to be losing them. Make sure the cable's around the right way, which they are, and we'll pop that dead in the center there. Get that finger tight so it doesn't fall off for the minute. So we have all 4 stem bolts in, and now let's get them tightened up. When tightening up the handlebars, always make sure to go in an X pattern to allow the stem clamping plate to seat nicely and equally. So the stem bolts fitted and tightened up, it's now time to fit the front wheel. Let's get this piece of shipping plastic out by undoing that. With the axle now thrown on the floor, you have to remove the end nut and spring to then slide the shaft out of the plastic. The packaging removed from the front axle, we can now put it into the wheel. All that off there, and through there. And there we have it. The axle is now through the wheel and on both sides. Let's get it mounted to the forks. There we go. Wheel is now inside the fork. And tighten this side up. When the bike is obviously on the ground, we'll make sure everything is double checked. There we have it, the wheel is now on. Last step on the fork section, looks like we need to put the cable in that little holder just there. I grabbed the 3mm Allen key and backed the screw off just a little to be able to tuck the brake line cable into the clip. Now the front end is complete, it's time to remove a little bit more cardboard and then continue with the rest of the build. Got the wonderful saddle. Now I probably will change this because sometimes these aren't that comfortable. It's not the most softest of saddle, but it's probably going to be all right. We'll see how my bum takes it. There we go, so that is the lowest it will go. We'll tighten it at that. Reflectors. I'll be putting lights on this, so I'm going to take this off. So I personally don't need it. So the seat is on, we'll need some adjustment on that, but we'll worry about that when we have it on the ground. Next is going to be the pedals. We have some Well Go pedals. 1, 2. When installing the pedals to the crank arm, be sure to observe the thread on the left pedal, as this side will be a reverse thread. This is so it doesn't start to become loose whilst you're riding. Both pedals put on finger tight. Once the bike's on the floor, we'll then crank them up to spec. What I'm going to do is take it off the stand and go over all the nuts and bolts from front to back to make sure it's safe for riding. Okay, as you see me do, everything is now tight and taut. I've double checked the front and the rear wheels to make sure they are solid. I have made sure the pedals are very tight too, because you don't want them falling off. Now, I just adjusted the handlebars a little bit more because it's hard to tell when it's on the stand, but they are now feeling good. And the seat height is at its lowest because I'm not exactly the tallest kind of guy. So next, let's put some air in the tyres. With the tyres pumped up, it's now probably a good time to get it back on the stand and double check the gearing. Now I'm going to go through each gear and make sure that the selector on the handlebars matches the gearing on the back wheel. I'm going to start from 1 to 9 and then back up again from 9 to 1. Then do the same again with the crankset on position 2 to make sure that I'm getting all 18 gears. So out the box, my gearing seems to be okay. It's all fully indexed. Now sometimes they can need a little bit of tweaking. Now building this bike has been quite easy. Now I'm no bike specialist, but I'm confident this is ready to go and the wheels aren't going to fall off or the handlebars aren't going to impale me in the stomach. I've got some small goodies now to install on this. We're going to fit a stand and we're going to fit some front and rear mudguards. So let's carry on. So Halfords universal stand I got with the bike. A couple of Allen keys and we should be all good. Okay, so what size is this going to be? It is a 5. So undo the 3 bolts. So I was looking at some bikes in Halfords and the stands were fitted basically over that R just there. Okay, that wasn't too hard, just 3 5mm Allen keys and then that's it basically, and it goes on. And you just sort of adjust this here when it's on the ground. Let's fit the front and rear mudguards. So rear mudguard, nice and easy, just clamps around the seat post. I would show you a better camera angle, but unfortunately me being a silly sausage didn't press record on the other camera. I didn't film it. Make sure it's straight. There we go. One mudguard fitted on the rear. Now let's fit the front. So the front mudguard fits to the front forks using a little adapter which comes in the kit, and it slots up in there just like that, and then you tighten it up. And now we can get our mudguard and slide it on to the mounting bracket just on there. And there we have it, one Carrera Vulcan built up from scratch. Now it is possible to do it on your own, and I don't need Halfords to build it, but for 10 quid, it'll do it for you anyway. But I wanted a challenge. There's probably some things I've missed off of this because I'm not a bike mechanic, but it is now ready to ride and I should imagine the wheel won't be falling off anytime soon. Now I did notice it has got lockable suspension, so that is something I want to try out too. The next video, we're going to be riding this around. I'm going to stick a couple of cameras on it and do like a little review, shall we say, on how this rides. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, comment and subscribe. It would help me out massively. Thank you very much for watching and I'll catch you guys in the next video.